Hello, and welcome to my channel, Chantilly Confidential. In this short introduction, I'm going to teach you how to switch your intuitive arts business to online only, a short course for card readers and psychics alike. Now, why do you want to move your intuitive arts business to online only? So that you have more control over your business. 2020 has taught us that we can no longer rely on fairs and farmers markets and exhibitions to have in-person readings. We can't even rely on house parties for readings anymore. We have no choice but to move our professional business online exclusively if we want to maintain our business. It doesn't take a lot to move your business online. All you need is some basic technology and some apps. Now, this basic technology could be something as simple as your phone, and the apps could be something as simple as Skype. Now, I would suggest that you have more than that if you really want to become a true professional. For example, I would make sure I had a quiet room, a proper laptop, proper video, but those things aren't necessary to get started. You can start with your phone, with the apps such as Instagram, Facebook, your social media, a good video program. If you have iPhone, one is built right in with FaceTime. If you don't have iPhone, you can always use Skype or Zoom. But it really doesn't take a lot to get started. You just have to get started. Also, experience and qualifications sure help. I mean, if you've never read professionally in person, you might have a very steep learning curve. That experience talking one-on-one with all the fairs and exhibitions that you've done is experience and qualifications that you can bring into your online business. And when you're advertising yourself, you will need to use that experience and qualifications to get new clients and to engage your other previous clients that you had. So if you've never done any type of reading other than for family and friends, you may need to take additional courses or do a lot more online free readings until you build up that confidence. Now, you also will need a social media presence. Now, of course, if you already have a social media presence, that's not going to be a problem for you. But if you haven't, or you haven't been very long on it, you will need to activate at least 2 social media presence. And even if you have a lot of social media presence and you've been on social media a lot, I'm going to ask you to pare it back to only 2. I want you to concentrate on 2. I want you to nail 2. And also, I don't want you spending all your time on social media instead of doing actual readings and doing things that make money for you. So if you already have a social media presence, awesome. If you don't, then you need to pick 2 from this list and get those going. All right, so now you've got your basic technology and apps, and you've got some social media going for some advertising. You're definitely going to need a website with a blogging capability. Now, the reason that you need a website is because from the website, people can book directly with you. Also, with blogging, you can diversify your income from only relying on readings to selling other products. For example, I sell wish bags on my website. And also with the blogging, you can do affiliate marketing And all affiliate marketing is that you sell other products for other people and you get a kickback from that. If you're familiar with a lot of YouTube videos that tarot card readers do, you'll see their disclaimer for an affiliate link. And generally, when they recommend some cards, they'll show the link how to buy those cards on Amazon, and Amazon gives them a little bit back. Beauty bloggers do this, clothing bloggers do this, interior designers do this. This is nothing new, but it is something that you will need to do. But I don't want you to get hung up on it, because there are other alternatives to a website. Just get started. Get started with your social media and your technology. If you are inclined to get a website, I mean, let's face it, a website is the new Yellow Pages. A website is your advertising at the coffee shop. So a website with blogging capabilities will end up being a must, but you don't need it at first. Now, there are many, many websites here that you can do. Wix, you can do Weebly, you can do WordPress. That's the one that I recommend. And those are all plug and play. You put in your information and start typing away, and you don't even need to be a writer to blog. You can blog pictures, you can blog reviews, you can even what's called curate, which is you find other articles on other blogs and you link them to yours. So I don't want you to get hung up too much on the technology. There are ways around it, but these are things that you will need. And you don't need to put a lot of money out for them either. Now, something you will need, and I insist on, is a YouTube channel. You need to show people how you read cards, what cards you read. You need to show people your skill. This is the type of business that people like to see proof that you know what you're doing. They don't want to think that you're behind the phone and making things up or looking at a book. They want to see your expertise. They want to see your professionalism. They want to see examples of what you read. And I think that's why we do so well at fairs and farmers markets and exhibitions, is because people actually see us reading for someone else. Even though they can't hear what we're saying, they see our expertise. They see us drawing the cards and not looking at the book. They see us going with the flow. Now, there are many different kinds of YouTube videos. You can do pick a card, you can do timeless videos, you can do look over my shoulder, you can teach people how to read, you can review decks and books, many, many, many kind. And I urge you to go on YouTube and search for pick a card, search for tarot card reading, search for angel card readings, search for angel messages. Anything that's in your particular psychic arts, anything that's in your intuitive arts genre, and you'll see there are many, many, many YouTube videos. Now, I don't want you to get discouraged, but because there's always room for more. Not everybody's going to be looking for the other type of readers. They might be looking exactly for you. So yes, when you go on, you see a lot. You should be encouraged by that people are searching for that and people are providing that. And you have your particular niche that you will also do well. But you need to show people. You need to have proof. You need to have a YouTube channel. Again, this is at no cost at all to start a YouTube channel. And all you need is your phone. You don't need any kind of fancy equipment. Maybe a tripod to hold your phone while you read cards. But there are many great card readers out there who don't do that at all and are creating a great following. And one of the ones I'd like to give a shout out to is Sending Ravens by Tarot by Janine. She has Tarot by Janine, her main site, but she also does Sending Ravens, and she's just holding her phone in her hand, and she's doing great. So again, this is another low cost, organic reach, and this is another way to gain confidence and gain followers. And don't worry if you're embarrassed to be on camera. You don't have to. Go to look at some of the pick-a cards, and all you see is their hands and the cards or the charms or whatever they're using. So don't let that be an excuse either. And again, going back to your blogging, and then you can post the YouTube video on your social media, on your blog, and of course on YouTube. So a YouTube channel is a must. Now, something else that you're going to have to consider eventually is a lead magnet with an email list. Now, a lead magnet is a giveaway. That's another giveaway. So if you've ever gone to a website and they said, oh, here's a checklist, how to clean your house, just give me your email and I'll send it to your e-box. That's what's called a lead magnet. And that's so that they can create an email list. And why do websites do this? Because the money's in the email list. You have to start thinking of yourself as an online business. And online businesses live and die by their email list. Because as long as you have an email list, you have clients to send an email to send offers to showcase your talents, to cross-promote with other intuitive arts professionals, which is a great way to get new clients for both of you. Because if you think of it, if somebody goes to tarot card reading, they might also go to an astrologist. So why not cross-promote each other? And that you do that by an email list. So eventually you're going to have to start speaking the language of online marketing. And one of those things is a lead magnet to create an email list. Even if you don't have a website, what I want you to do is start creating an email list of all your clients. So all your new clients, whether you get them from Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, you must collect their email address. And but this is after you have a website at the very, very least. But this is something I want you to consider that you will need to provide. All right, so now we've got everything all set up. We've got the foundation set up. You need to consider your pricing strategy. Now, pricing strategy online is a little bit different than in person. And the reason why is because there's regional differences in prices. For example, in the small town that I live in, at any of the markets or whatever, a general price for a reading is about $50. However, when I go to the big city and I'm at an exhibition or something, the general price can range between $80 and $100. Now, when you're online, you're competing with all the other intuitive art professionals. So what you need to do is a little bit of strategy research. You need to look at readers that are doing the same thing as you. I would get 5 or 6 and see what they're charging. Add them all up, get an average, and that's what I would start at. Now, you don't want to start at too low and undercut everybody, because then it's going to be difficult to raise your prices. And you don't want to start out too high, because then you're going to hear crickets. So find that Goldilocks in the middle, just right pricing, and start with that. You can always have a sale if you find you're not getting enough sales, enough clients. You can always have a sale. If you find you're getting too many and you're so overwhelmed, you can raise your prices. But you want to start out in the middle. So throw out everything about your regional pricing, because that doesn't matter online. And go to Instagram, go find some tarot readers. Go to Facebook, find some tarot readers, and even just Google tarot readers and see what they're charging. find, like I said, at least 10. Take the 2 cheapest ones off the list and the 2 most expensive ones on the list, and then take a little bit of the average of the middle ones, and you should be right. Also, you might want to consider a pricing strategy that you may, for example, I have no idea, you may want to charge $50 for your services and then have a few optional services at the end. For example, if you're a tarot card reader, have pull 3 angel cards for an extra $5. Pull some charms for an extra, $5 that they would add to the service. Or you could have, $50, add an extra 5 or 10 for a recording or a YouTube video and whatnot. Again, research some professionals that are doing the same service as you, because there's going to be different prices for tarot readers, for Lenormand, for angel readers, for angel healing, for psychics, for astrologers, for all of us. There's different genre pricing. So go ahead and research that and get a really good strategy for your pricing so that you're ready to go once you have everything, your social media, and you're starting to advertise yourself. They can see exactly how much you charge. All right, so now you've done some research and you realize there's a lot of competition out there. And guess what? You're right. There is a lot of competition out there. So how do you cut through all the noise and become the card reader that you want to be and be the professional that people are seeking? Well, you discover your magic. You discover a niche that you love doing. So, for example, if you're an astrologer, maybe your niche is couples astrology. Maybe your niche is picking a wedding day. Maybe your niche is health, or maybe your niche is career. So, what you need to do is I want you to pick one thing that you enjoy working with, that you're great at, and that you get a lot of compliments on. So, for example, for myself, my magic is law of attraction. So when I'm reading the cards, I can come up with 2, 3 sentences that they can come away with that guide them with law of attraction for what they want. So for example, if they're wondering, if they came to get a card reading, when will I meet my soulmate? Well, I would leave them, based on what the cards tell me, a law of attraction twist into that so they can attract that soulmate. So what they are doing, what they need to do, and what will be the outcome, and I take that and I mash it together and I give them a law of attraction homework, and it works. And that's my forte, and I get so many referrals when I do that for somebody and it works for them. So that would be my magic. So that would be something that if I was reading cards again, I would advertise a lot. I would make sure it's on my social media. I would make sure everybody knew that I use law of attraction and cards to create an outcome that you're looking for. So, for example, tarot readers, maybe you're a twin flame expert. There's many tarot card readers. There's lots to do with twin flames. Maybe you can read charms. Maybe you're a Lenormand expert and you don't do tarot card reading. But you've got to find your magic. Do you focus in on abundance? Do you show people how to have a great career? Are you business savvy? One of the things I've noticed in the market, and it's just right for somebody to come and take over, is stock market picks, sports picks, whatever your magic is, whatever you find you gravitate towards, and anything that you find that you excel at, that's your magic. Now you can go after your ideal client. if you're a twin flames expert, you don't want people coming to you asking about their career. If you're a career expert, you don't want somebody coming and asking you when will they get married. So once you discover your magic, now you can work on who is your ideal client, and now you can plug that into all your branding. So for example, if you were a twin flames expert, your branding might be pinks and purples and reds and lots of hearts and wine glasses and champagne glasses and flowers. So you want to make it very romantic. But if you were a business expert or a stock market expert or abundance expert, you might want more greens and golds, and you'd have coins and maybe lucky symbols and whatnot in your branding. So that's another thing I want you to consider. I want you to really consider what's your magic and who is your ideal customer. And now plug that all into your social media, into your website, into your marketing, into your lead magnet. And we can wrap this all into one neat package that gets you off and started to a successful online business. So now you've got your foundation, you've got your branding, you've discovered your niche, you've got your branding, you've plugged all your colors and your branding into your Instagram, into your Facebook, into your YouTube, you've started your YouTube channel, you've maybe have a website, you have a way of collecting emails, whether it's an actual lead magnet or you're physically writing down your emails, and you're ready to go. You're ready to bring on clients. You have all your technology ready to go. You have a nice quiet room, and let's get booking. So what you need to do is you will need to do introductory offers if you've never been online before. The internet is the Wild West. After 2 decades, it's still the Wild West, if not worse. And a lot of people are skittish about buying on the internet. So you will need an introductory offer. You're going to need something to entice people to try you at least once. Now, if you already have a list of clients, let's say you have their phone numbers, maybe send them a text saying, I'm now online, come check it out, or I'm on Instagram, come check it out. But you want to entice them to show you that you are the same reader online. So maybe you'll do a 2-for-1 special. The one that I found worked the best for me was 1 hour for the price of, so 60 minutes for the price of 30 minutes. And so they're only invested in, a 30-minute price, but they get a whole hour. So it's a great value for them. And people tended to really enjoy that offer. I did try 2-for-1. So if you bought an hour, you got a gift certificate for the second hour or second reading, and you could either use that at a later date or you could pass it on to a friend. I preferred if they pass it on to a friend because then you have another client, but they always tended to use it for themselves, which is okay. It's the same thing as 30 minutes or 60 minutes for the price of 30 minutes. But you're going to have to come up with an introductory offer, something to entice people to show that you can read online. Something to show that you do have the technology, something to show that you do have a system in place, because that all shows that you're a professional. It all shows that you aren't fly by night, that you're serious about your craft, and this is a business. This isn't, a roadside sideshow. All right, so I'm going to wrap this little mini course up by letting you know what not to do. Because sometimes what's more important than knowing what to do is knowing what not to do. Now, the first thing I'm going to tell you what not to do, because it turned out to be a disaster for me and other readers that I've talked to, is do not do free readings on Facebook. Please don't. Do not jump into groups and spam them. Do not go on to other Instagram accounts and spam them. But please do not give away free readings. Free readings hurt all of us. When you give away a free reading, that brings all of us into the same arena. Now, an exchange reading, absolutely. If there's some kind of energy exchange, why not? So, for example, you read for one tarot reader, they read for you. That's an exchange. But I have jumped into Facebook groups and said I'll do a free reading for an exchange for, a referral. Either you can give me a referral or agree to have a testimonial on my website. I won't use your name, I'll just use initials. I got slammed with 8 people asking me for free readings. I ended up getting 1 referral out of that. So I worked over 8 hours because, yes, each reading was an hour. But by the time you record it and send it to them and everything, so I worked over 8 hours for 1 hour's worth of work. I got 1 lukewarm testimonial, and it wasn't because they didn't enjoy my readings. It's because they changed their mind, that they didn't want any of their information or anything on my website. They weren't sure about it. And so I learned that the hard way. Now, I have done exchange readings and that has worked out really well, but please do not give away free readings. Now, even when you have your introductory offer, have some sort of an exchange. You can have half price, you can have 2 for 1. You can take money off, but do not give away free readings. You'll find that that is a fast track to not fun. So don't do that. Don't spam other people. For example, don't go into a Facebook group and spam them with, hey, come and get a reading from me, because again, that makes us all look bad. Please don't try and do the phone lines. That is another fast track to hell. You have to be on call, and you could sit there for 8 hours and get 1 call for the whole time. Again, not worthwhile of your time. You're better off spending that time on social media and creating relationships with potential clients. You're better off spending that time creating a lead magnet that people will exchange for their email, so that you can then send them email specials later on. So those are the 2 big things. Also, you don't need to go out and get business cards. You don't need to go out and get an expensive processor. We didn't talk a lot about processors or how you collect money, because there's just so many different ways. If you don't have a processor from when you did fairs and exhibitions and whatnot, that's something that you'll need to look into. I suggest just go with PayPal. You don't need an expensive card reader at this time. Just start really, really basic. Again, another thing you do not need to do is you do not need to spend a lot of money to get going. You do not need to go spend $10,000 on a website. You do not need to hire a social media manager. You do not need to spend money on ads. Do not spend money on Facebook ads, on Instagram ads while you're up and going. Keep things lean and mean and what I call organic reach, and you'll be much further ahead. Once you get big enough and you might want to do ads, that is totally up to you, but I can tell you I had a very functioning and busy practice without spending a penny on online ads. So that wraps it up for this mini course. I hope you enjoyed these 10 lessons. And you may be wondering, what are your next steps? So where to next? Well, first of all, if you enjoyed this, please hit like and subscribe, and that shows me that these videos are valuable, and I'll continue to make more in-depth videos. Also, follow me on Instagram at mystical_fortunes. And you can also go to my website, mysticalfortunes.com. Have a look around, subscribe to the blog, have a good idea what I'm doing with my website, and take a look at my lead magnet, get on my email list, of course, and enjoy the process. You're a professional and this is a business, and it's time that you need to start acting like a business and not a hobby. Thank you so much for your time. I genuinely appreciate it. Take good care.